Okay.
No, it's true. All right, so we'll move on to the main event now. I'm really excited for this one. Anytime Calvin Kattar comes into the octagon, I'm super excited. He's minus 240 going into this one against Josh Emmett, who is plus 195. And I'm going with Calvin all the way this week. He's improved so much since that matchup with Max Holloway. Like, he only did have that one fight in between with Giga Chikadze, but he absolutely gave him the business 4 months ago and hardly took any damage himself. He's a legit threat in the division because he's got wildly fast hands, great boxing combinations, and he's got like wildly sharp elbows too that he used so well against Giga Chikadze. Like, he just ripped his whole face to shreds. It was incredible. And Giga was talking so much crap going into that one. It was it was pretty funny to see him get his retribution for that. Talking about how he's going to surpass the whole division and go fight Volk for a championship. Yeah, right, bro. But I think there's a couple other things going against Josh Emmett here. He hasn't had a full 5-round fight yet. And Kattar's last two have gone a full 25 minutes. Emmett is humble, and he's spoken about it with our friend James Lynch that this is his biggest jump in competition. Usually he fights back, but he knows that this is the biggest jump in competition, and I personally don't think he's ready for it. I think Kattar's just going to pound his face in like it's a chicken cutlet, and Emmett should probably be paid extra money for how much blood he's going to donate to the Octagon canvas on Saturday. I think it'll be a clear decision victory for Kattar. I think he's going to win all 5 rounds possibly, or maybe put up a 49 on somebody's scorecard. Get that 49-46 we've been seeing a lot recently. But I think it's going to be a very clear win for Calvin Kattar on Saturday. What do you think about that one, Tom?
Yeah, I just can't agree. Not saying that I think Calvin Kattar may win. I just think this one's going to be close. I'm not willing to submit that Calvin Kattar is just going to go out there and knock the brakes off of Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is extremely quick. He's got a base rooted in grappling. He doesn't use it much anymore, but he's quick and he's got really good power in his hands. He's fought good competition up until this point. He's performed well against them. Calvin Kattar, yeah, he did well against Giga Chikadze, but that was largely after he had tired Giga Chikadze out by getting him on the ground, putting a body triangle on him, making Giga hold his body and change the pattern of a fight that he's used to. I think Calvin Kattar isn't going to be able to have the same type of grappling effectiveness against Josh Emmett as he did against Giga Chikadze. I don't think he's going to be able to wear him out. I think I think Josh Emmett is going to be able to land on Calvin Kattar. Giga Chikadze was landing on Calvin Kattar in the first round and even into the second round and even late into the 4th round and the 5th round. Like, even after Giga was all messed up, he was still landing on Calvin Kattar. So he is able to get hit. And I think those punches that are coming in from Josh Emmett, they're going to be quicker. He's not going to have the ground game to be able to tire out Emmett. I think this one's going to be close. Now, Calvin Kattar absolutely does have slicker boxing. He's going to be able to pop the 1-2, get out of range, move around. I think Josh Emmett, let me look this up. I think Josh Emmett might have a reach advantage. But either way,
Josh Emmett's at 70-inch reach and Calvin Kattar's at 72.
Okay, so there you go. But Josh Emmett is being the wrestler and having the grappling background. He's going to be able to pop in and pop out. So he's got really good movement. Calvin Kattar is going to have more of the side-to-side movement and be able to get away and turn off. It's going to be a really, really good fight. I think this one's going to stand on the feet. I maybe want to I want to kind of go to Calvin Kattar just a little bit because of his experience with 5-round fights. I don't know where I fall on this one. To be a country, I think I'll go Calvin Kattar. I think I'm going to go Calvin Kattar by decision. But I definitely think Josh Emmett takes 2 rounds. I think it's going to be a close one.
All right. Fair. What do you got, Patrick?
Yeah, it could potentially be closer than the line indicates, especially as the line keeps on growing. Calvin Kattar definitely is going to have that well-deserved reputation for being super, super tough as he, absorbed more strikes than anybody ever has without getting knocked out. I think he his striking metrics per minute are ruined for the rest of his career because of Max Holloway. He's always going to have a negative, striking differential the entire time. But, 34 years old, so not the oldest featherweight in the ring on Saturday with Josh Emmett, 37. He's going to be the much larger man, 5 inches of height, 5'11", versus 5'6", 2 inches of reach. So Once again, this is like the tale of a couple of matches we've seen already, where it's a step down in competition for Calvin Kattar, a step up for Josh Emmett. The younger guy taking a step down finally, and the older man taking a step up. It's a little bit different. What was cool with the tape study for this one was to compare and contrast the two guys. They actually have three opponents in common in the UFC. They have Ricardo Lamas, they have Jeremy Stevens, they got Dan Ige. So you can kind of watch those fights side by side and kind of see how they dealt with each opponent. I was just much more impressed with Calvin Kattar. I think he's got heavier hands, for 145. And 145 is really a division that, for some reason, just statistically doesn't end as much as like 135 or even 170 as of lately. So I like the overs more than I like a side in the fight. I'm definitely going to take the money in the beginning, just out of whack, as it's, I think, minus 240 already, and that's probably going to grow towards minus 300 as the week progresses. That's a bit much. I just don't see a lot of extra value in it, but I don't see a lot of extra value getting towards 60 to 75% implied that Calvin Kattar wins. I might agree with that, but what else are we gaining by betting that? We're matching the fair price in the bookies. So I like the overs in this to see when they drop what the over 2.5, over 4 and it goes, because 14 out of 28 fights for Calvin Kattar have seen the judges' scorecards. 19 for Josh Emmett have as well. So we're looking at over 50% of their fights go the distance in a division at featherweight where a lot of the fights lately have been going all 15 or all 25 minutes as well. So I'm going to like anything under like minus 200, I'd probably take the overs in this fight, maybe as an insurance policy if I end up parlaying Calvin Kattar with somebody else in the card.
Nice. Yeah, another super lock. And I do really like that over the over rounds pick, especially like 2.5 is sweet. That's awesome.
If it is, I don't know if it's set there, but if you could find it, this might be set. I mean, I just think that these, the bookmakers might open it lower, maybe over 3.5. Over under 2.5, because these guys have that reputation of being such strong power hitters for 145. Even though the numbers, if you look at it, they don't do that at like a significant rate. It's not like they're finishing 80% of the time. It's like about 50-50, so we'll see if they're privy to that or not. But by the numbers, this should maybe see some later rounds.
I'm trying to see if I could find. Oh no, they don't have it up yet on FanDuel.
No.
I'm not sure about any of the other books, but yeah, that'll definitely come in as the week goes along.
Yeah, that's something probably to jump on early as the time props. If you agree with that, or